Mr. Slime.
Hello everyone for another video of the time-lapse in creating a map in Worldbox. So for this map, I want the lands to be very divided. And to do that, we just need to put mountains and islands to separate our lands. This way we will have many isolated kingdoms. And during wars, this could be an advantage to them because they wouldn't be able to get to their lands very easily. They will need boats to access them. So you will have like wars that spanned for more than 70 years. So I tried this map and goes to war, and it has taken that long, So if you want that kind of like long-term wars, or they're not wiping each other immediately, then I advise to separate the lands to make them or force them to use boats. So right now I'm just doing our coastlines and our islands, and later I will put more of our mountains. And now I also wanted to add those islands that we can see in Japan or in Alaska, those chains of islands. So to do that, it's just very simple to do. You just need to create a piece of land and then just divide it with seas, just for example like this. So create an island or create the piece of land and then just create a line and then just divide it. So this would make your maps feel a bit more fantasy-like with this kind of chain island. And now we're just turning the erosion on and we are creating our mountains. So for this map, I imagine that these 4 continents smash to this middle, creating our Himalayan-sized mountains. But when a continent smashed through another continent, it created folds that creates mountains, basin, and mountains again. So we will add another mountains at the rear, because it's like the middle continent folded because of the smash of the other continents into it. So that's the idea of it. That's why we have this huge mountainous region here that is divided. You cannot access it through land. You need to access it by boat. So you will have like an isolated kingdom in the middle. So if you want that. So right now I'm just adding our mountains to our hills for the highest peaks, and then creating our glaciers on the top of our mountains. And now we are going to do our biomes. So first we need to know our north or south pole, and then our temperate region, and then the equator. So our equator is important because this will form our storms and rains from the warm seas that will deliver fresh water inland, so creating our woodlands and our jungles. So those that because of further inland, or maybe because of the mountains that couldn't receive these waters, will become our deserts. And if it's in the equator, some will become our savannas. And then those that are on the temperate region and are close to our north or south pole will become our steppes, grasslands, or plains. So that is just how you divide your biomes more naturally. So you really just need to determine those key details, which is where your equator is and where is your north and south pole, because it will divide the biomes more naturally in that way. And now we are going to create our forest. So the forested areas will have lots of trees, and forest soils actually grow more trees than our plain soils. So we can use that to determine where our huge forests are going to be. So in the equator, we will have these huge jungles, and then on our temperate region, we will have this huge kind of temperate forests like woodlands. And then here on our like drier region, if it's on the equator, the edges will become our savannas, and then it will become lighter and lighter to our deserts because it gets drier and drier. So that's the idea of it. Simple idea on where you want to place your forest. Over here at our north continent, because of how farther inland doesn't receive lots of water, it will become deserts like in Central Asia, like in our Mongolia. So doing this kind of nice transition from dark edges to light in the middle is a nice transition and looks a bit more natural. Now I think our biomes turn out well. We can clearly see where the dense biomes is, or our dense forest is. Now we're just going to create our oceans, or closed oceans and deep oceans, to create that nice transition to our oceans as well. So just very simple, just our coastlines will have our shallow waters, and then closed oceans, and then deep oceans the farther they go. So as simple as that. And now I wanted to create this like our Arctic ice here on our north and south pole. So I will create this kind of cracks in our shallow waters that would look like it is a shattered ice sheets that created icebergs. So that's the idea for it. So when it became frozen during the age of ice, it will look like it is an ice sheet in our north and south pole. Now we're going to do our rivers. So it is a very simple thing to do. You just need to have lots of rivers coming from our high elevations, like our mountains, that then would be connected to a single river that flows out to the sea. So that's just the basic shape of our rivers, so it is very easy to do. And create a lot of rivers as well in the areas that would receive lots of rains, like here in our jungle areas and even here. And then also maybe put our lakes, more lakes on closer to our north or south poles, and then put a bit of oasis in our deserts as well. So just putting our fresh waters there, and then we are finally done. Now we are done. So I just want to thank Mango Boy for their suggestions that inspired me to create this map. So if you want to get featured in the next video, comment down below what you suggest on having in a map, and what do you like and dislike about the map. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos and to help our channel grow. That is all. Thank you.
World of Terraq, a land full of shattered lands, with mountains reaching to farther skies, islands divided by the great seas that supported its own unique life, kingdom of isolation proliferate in these continents. Now where would you place your kingdom? Mr. Slime.